I'm here today with one of my favorite flight instructors at First Landings Aviation, Mr. Ryle. Ryle, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in aviation?
Well, I don't want it to be a shock to anyone, but I'm black. Uh, Only one here at the field, But you know what? It works out well for me. My cards sell out quite fast. I'm pretty popular around these parts. Uh, I did all my training at Aerosim Flight Academy. I have all my ratings. I've even passed my ATP rating. Haven't taken the actual ATP practical exam yet. Obviously, you need 1,500 hours for that, but I'm working towards it.
Well, that sounds very ambitious. Congratulations on working towards that. What inspired you to become a pilot? What inspired you and led you to aviation?
So growing up, I grew up in New York City, and we live really close to JFK Airport, John F. Kennedy International Airport. Me and my dad would spend the summers sitting in the backyard, just watching planes come and go, take off and land. And he always wanted to be a pilot himself, but life happens. You have kids and things of that nature. You don't have the free money around to go train in aviation because we all know it's expensive. So I kind of took it upon myself to pick up flight training and become a pilot. And once I started doing it, I really liked it, and it's just become my passion ever since.
What do you think one of the biggest challenges, and what would your advice be to somebody who's starting off just in aviation? What would your advice be to them? What do you think you maybe struggled with as a student, and what can you tell a new student that might be thinking about joining the aviation community?
Well, I'll tell you this. You definitely get into aviation what you put into it. You get out of it what you put into it. So by that, I know it seems at first like, oh, it's a lot of new material. It may seem overwhelming. It's honestly, when you're a new student to aviation, it's like trying to drink from a fire hose without spilling one drop. It's going to really feel overwhelming, but I encourage you and I applaud you to stick with it. It's very rewarding. I mean, imagine this. You become a captain of some regional airline. Great. You're going to work 14 days out of the month, make six figures, and be able to travel the world for free. I mean, I don't think it's even possible at that point for women to be upset with you. I'm just putting it out there. But yeah, I mean, everybody's motivation is different, of course, but it's an awesome job.
So, Ryle, you're unique among us in that you came from what we call the Part 141, part of the Federal Aviation Regulation 141 Flight School. Now you're working in the Part 61 area. What would you say are some of the differences? I'm sure there's upsides to downsides of both parts. What would you say are some of the upsides and downsides of each?
The upsides of a 141 will be more structured. They put a lot more emphasis in the theoretical knowledge behind all the practical stuff that you do in the aircraft. So for instance, you probably won't touch an aircraft when you enter a Part 141 for about 3 weeks. You'll do 3 weeks of solid ground, and then after that you'll actually have an opportunity to go fly the aircraft. That's great and all, but everybody isn't a strictly textual or book orientated kind of learning. A lot of people need a lot of hands-on stuff. So this is where it'd be the benefit of Part 61. Now, Part 61, we're going to fly. We're going to fly. We're going to fly. We're going to fly on every day that we have the opportunity to. And anytime that the weather is bad, we're going to go, and that's when we're going to do our ground. I've always found that it's a lot easier to actually learn the context or material that you're trying to learn when you have hands-on practical application for it. So now when we come in and do the ground portion of our training, it's a lot easier for students to recall or even relate to the instances because they've already experienced said instances in the aircraft hands-on instead of just reading about it in a book. You really can absorb much information when you're reading anything from a book. Also, Part 61 is much cheaper. 141, you're looking at six figures right there for all your training. And those student loans, they come fast and furiously. They're going to want their money back. But a Part 61, it's going to be a lot cheaper. You have the ability to pay as you go, really pace it out. And since we're a Part 61 and we're actually operating out of an uncontrolled field, it's a lot easier to do the learning here because we don't have the restrictions of like a control tower or controlled airspace. And the fact that our practice area, Lake Apopka, is directly behind the field, no more than 5 miles southwest, you'll find that there is no time wasted transitioning into the practice area. We don't waste time traveling to it. Because of our location, it makes it really easy for us to get the most out of our flight blocks.
Well, that's all excellent information. Now, you've told me in the past that you really enjoy coming to work here as a flight instructor. What do you find most rewarding, and what do you really look forward to every day as a flight instructor?
I tell you what, few people in life actually have the opportunity to enjoy their jobs. I wake up every morning happy. I love coming to work. I mean, I tell everyone the view from my office looks amazing. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, it's a privilege really to be a pilot. You know what I mean? Think about it. I'm flying around populated areas, unpopulated areas. People put their trust in me that when I'm operating over them, above them, thousands of feet above them, that I'm doing the correct and right things and not jeopardizing anyone's lives. So I feel that being a pilot is a really, really privileged responsibility, and I take it as such every single day.
Okay, well, that's great information, Ryle. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Hey, just for the record, the skies aren't for everybody. That's why God made sidewalks. All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ryle.